Right, today we discuss what is destined to happen and what mankind sets for their own destiny. The reason I said it like that is like basically there's human beings out there that will have you believe that, um, scientists can reassure you um, and protect you from any naturally occurring event, so you don't really need to be sensitive or afraid of nature anymore. But unfortunately, the way we look to protect ourselves involves the grid, the power grid, yeah, and everything that we're inventing is electronic in nature. You're talking about D-wave computers, they run on electricity, yeah. You're talking about the Large Hadron Collider that runs on electricity. So everything that we need to reassure ourselves that we don't need to believe in God runs on electricity. Unfortunately for us, God gave us a sun and a moon. I'll come to the moon later, but let's concentrate on the sun now. Well, I shouldn't really say unfortunately because the sun gives us life as well. The sun does something um, in a very unpredictable way. It emits solar storms. It's called a coronal mass emission. Now, whenever a coronal mass emission happens, yeah, what happens to anything that is electronically based on Earth? It gets shut down. Yeah, a coronal mass ejection can shut down the power grid. Yeah, whether you're running your large hadron collider, whether you're putting out holograms, D-wave computers, whatever shit you're running, as soon as that coronal mass emission and the solar storm and the geomagnetic storm that results from it hits the earth, it's gonna shut you down. We don't work on your time, we work on the Almighty's time. You can't predict when the solar mass emissions are gonna take place. Yeah, you can't shield yourself from it, and they include all kinds of nasty particles in the plasma and flow, yeah, that can even penetrate the ground. Your Large Hadron Collider will be shut down by a coronal mass emission, yeah, whether you're in the middle of an experiment or not. So you are at God's mercy at all times, yeah. So what I think, as a um, an intelligent human being, is that we have to always humble ourselves to nature. We have to know that nature can take us anytime. This doesn't mean that we have to stop investigating. Of course, you do your Large Hadron Colliders and you investigate whatever you have to investigate. But don't reassure people that nature can't harm us anymore, that we have mastered nature. We haven't. We are assuring ourselves with electronically based contraptions and mechanisms. Yeah, these are things that the more sensitive it becomes is the more vulnerable it is. Now just imagine your D-wave computers or your photon based or quantum computers, yeah, they're based on photons, yeah. Now just imagine if that gets hit by a coronal mass emission, by a geomagnetic storm, yeah. Can you imagine what kind of damage that would do to your D-wave computer? Yeah. So we can't say because we've discovered this and that, which is electronically based, that now we don't need to care about what the environment can do to us. Yeah, we have to humble ourselves. Yeah, and look at God as, uh, that power that is beyond us, that can take us at any time, but you know, for some one reason or another it doesn't. So it's all random, you know, we can't guess when it's going to happen, but you just know it's going to happen at some point. Yeah. So when you give us that false confidence, yeah, and then people act like, well, if somebody believes in God, they're not intelligent, they're stupid. um, in some situations that's true. If you believe that God's a man, that decides your fate, then you're stupid, isn't it? But if you believe in God as a natural phenomenon, yeah, that controls creation, then that's not stupid. But if you believe it's a man that does all kinds of miracles and fairy tales and shit like that, then you're stupid. But you know, well, in my opinion, but you know, whatever, however God reveals themselves to you, that's your level of understanding. But my level of understanding, I can't accept a God that um, does fairy tales and um, party tricks and magic tricks and things like that. For me, God's a natural phenomena that controls nature and creation. Yeah, it's some kind of unknown source of light that burns forever, never burns out. But I just wanted to point out that if we do get to a reality uh, where we can't tell what's holographic and what's real, what's man-made and what's real, we just wait for a solar storm. As soon as it hits, whatever's man-made will start to look glitchy. You could tell whether it's a CGI, a hologram, or whether it's something natural. Because when a geomagnetic storm hits a human being, we don't start to glitch out, do we? But when it hits a hologram or something that's based on a something that has a power source, yeah, it shuts it off. So the Almighty will always show us, no matter how much trickery takes place on the planet, the Almighty will always show us what is real